and welcome
to Sort of the Story.
I'm Janey.
And I'm Max.
And this is the podcast where we tell each other stories, like fairy tales and folk tales and mythology and whatever else we want to talk about that day.
And also, you are here.
Wow, thank you for joining us on yet another week.
Wow.
Guys, how you doing? Is it good? Do you like the 2-week schedule? Don't answer that, because the answer is going to be no. Everyone likes more. This podcast is not for children, so sorry, kids, get out. You have to be old enough to buy cigarettes to listen to this podcast.
If you're listening to this podcast and you're not actively smoking an entire pack of cigarettes while you're doing it, please get out.
You need one of those contraptions that let you smoke a whole pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, the multi-cigarette adapter that lets you smoke an entire pack at once.
Yeah, you need one of those. That's actually a rule of ours.
Yeah.
And I have asthma, so I'm dying any day now from the amount of cigarettes I'm smoking.
Yeah, Janey has to smoke a cigarette while she has to smoke cigarettes while we're recording, and then also while she's editing the podcast. And then after it goes live, she listens to it again. You guys this podcast is killing her.
You're saying that I'm not suffering for my art? Go fuck yourself. I'm literally dying all the time.
Her lungs look like the caldera of a volcano.
They are a beautiful black hole. Sorry, they have a beautiful black hole in them.
Kids, don't smoke.
Please don't smoke.
Unless you want to.
Doesn't that sound terrible? Everything we just said? It's not good. Learn from my mistakes. Don't smoke. Max.
Yeah?
I think that made everyone want to hang out with us.
Yeah,
and give us money,
cool.
Right? If they were like, I really want to give them money and I want to listen to more episodes of this, what can they do? How can they do it?
Well, they can go to our Patreon. The link is in the show notes for this episode and every episode. For $3 a month, you get access to our Discord, which is a place where we hang out with all of our pals.
Yeah.
And we have a great time.
It's really fun.
Yeah, it's really good. It's truly the only social media that I actively participate in anymore, and it's my favorite place to be on the internet.
Yeah, it's also the most supportive,
yes,
funny, genuinely funny, very cool people from all walks of life. We're having a great time over there.
Yeah.
And also that level is called Team Troll. So if you want to show your support for trolls, which you should.
Team Troll.
Yeah. $3.
Or for $7 a month, you get access to the Discord, and you also get a full-length bonus episode every month. That is a new, unreleased episode that only goes out to our Patreon subscribers. You also get access to the back catalog of bonus episodes.
You also get book club episodes.
Yes.
And this is going to come up after we record the book club episode.
Yeah.
We might be announcing this. I don't know when we're going to release the book club episode, but guys, book club episodes got real fucking spicy.
Yeah.
So if you want some spicy book content, that's coming, or it has come. Who knows? What are we, the people who schedule this?
Coming.
Someone's coming, and it might be you. Join the Patreon to find out. Well, I feel like that was the best ad we've ever done.
Pretty good.
I think we promised them orgasms. You gotta join the secret $10 tier to get orgasms.
Ever again.
We took
You've
your
been cursed.
orgasms. If you want them back, send us $10. Okay, well, that turned ridiculous so fast. But everything leading up to that was pretty good. Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, man.
Okay. Well, Max,
Janey.
It is episode 139, so I am going first today. And I have a really shorty cutie one. I think you do too. So guys, get ready for a pretty short episode, but don't worry, we have like a hour-long test at the end for you to listen to our thoughts. So, Max, I'm just going to jump in and I'm going to tell you my shorty baby cutie story.
Please do.
Okay, guys, you know the drill. It's going to get quiet for 1 second, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not abandoning you. We're coming right back after this second of silence. It's going to be fine. Okay, Max.
Okay, Janey.
Max, okay. I am bringing up a classic, The Girl Who Helped Thunder and Other Native American Folktales, retold by James Bruchac and Joseph Bruchac, Ph.D. They are father and son. And they're wonderful. This is a gorgeous book. I have told stories from it before, and I will talk more about the story itself at the end.
Awesome. I also have a Native American story today.
Accidental theme.
Ooh.
This story I'm going to tell you is called The Beluga-Skin Bedaarka. It is called...
Bedaarka.
Bedaarka. It is an Alutiiq story. I'm going to apologize for my pronunciation right off the bat. I don't know anything about, like, the far north tribes.
Mm.
The Beluga-Skin Bedaarka. It starts off with this little excerpt. Quote, "Once there was a boy who grew up alone and far from any village. His family had been lost in a storm, and so he had no relatives to care for him." End quote. So he had been taught how to fish and hunt before, and so he was able to survive by himself, even though he was all alone in the world. And when he was alive, his father had told him to lift stones every day. That was something that he had his son do every day. Just he would start out with tiny stones, and every day the stones would get bigger and bigger, and that was like his morning workout.
Do you even lift, my son?
Do you even lift my stones? And now that he was alone, the boy continued to do this every day. And as the seasons passed, he lifted larger and heavier stones until he was so strong. He was buff as hell.
Mm-hmm.
When he felt strong enough, he decided to go out and find a wife. He's like, I've been alone for enough time. I'm tired of it.
Sure.
Now I'm real strong. Can impress any girl.
Yeah.
He made a Bedaarka, which is a type of boat made from skin. It's like a skin.
Okay.
It's like a skin canoe, which sounds like fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's definitely a slang term for a vagina.
Yeah. I'm going to take a ride on the old skin canoe. Anyway, he made a Bedaarka from the skin of a beluga whale.
Mm-hmm.
The summer had passed, and so the sun would be down for a long period of time. It was like dark for a long time, but the boy did not rest as he paddled along the coast. Even at night, he kept himself awake by singing a song he had made up about his journey to go find a wife.
Oh, I'm rowing in my skin canoe to get myself a skin canoe.
Doodle-lottie, doodle-lottie, doodle-lottie dee. Rowing in my skin canoe. If I make that the title of this episode, we might get flagged for indecency.
Probably.
And then we'll get to be like, wow, that's culturally insensitive.
I can't wait until we get to do that.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's all I live for. Okay. I liked his Skin Canoe song. Thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Oh my God. One night, as he was paddling along and singing his fun little song about rowing in a skin canoe to look for a skin canoe, he saw a light on the shore. He pulled his little boat up, and he saw a beautiful young woman about his same age, holding a torch and, like, waving at him. Mm-hmm. And she said, "I heard your song. Come with me."
Oh, no.
That was a quote.
I should have written the song differently.
It should have been more romantic, but she was into it, all right? She was matching his freak.
Yeah.
She brought him to her parents' house, and she gave him some food and a hut to sleep in. And as she was leaving, she, like, started to walk away, and then she came back to the doorway, and she was like, rest up. Yeah? Sleep really well. Like, really rest. Because you want to marry me, but you're not the only one.
Okay. I would not sleep after she said that. I would be like, someone's going to come and murder me in my sleep.
And then she waved her hands at him and walked backwards away like, woo! Apparently, there were other men here who were going to compete for her hand. And she was like, I want you to defeat them all. Because I really liked your song. You're the best singer-songwriter of our generation. And your voice needs to be heard. And then she's like, I'm going to give you a hint for tomorrow because you're not from around here. And neither are the other guys, apparently. But she says tomorrow is a hunting challenge, and they're going to ask you where you want to go to hunt. You need to go up the coast, okay? Just remember that, up the coast. There are a lot of seals there, which I know sounds very scary, but you're going to win because that's a place where all the seals like to hang out. I personally stay far away from it because, as everyone knows, seals are scary. Mm-hmm, you should go there. Kill them all.
Janey's afraid of snails.
I'm so afraid of snails. Not the snails. Yeah, if this is your first time listening, I don't like seals.
Janey is deathly afraid of seals.
Max, we were on the couch the other day and she goes, can I show you a seal video? And legitimately, you said it so nicely and so reasonably. And I was like, if I say no, I will sound unreasonable. And I opened my mouth and went, no.
It was a seal being scared of a lizard. Like, it was at an aquarium and they held up a lizard to a seal and the seal looked horrified. Uh-huh. And I was like, maybe Janey will like that because the seal's having a bad time. And she doesn't like seals.
She said, no, the seal's having a bad time. And that made me sad because I don't want them to actively have a bad time. I just never want to interact with them. So the next morning, the village elder poked his head into the hut and he was like, hi, welcome to the village. We're going to have a hunting challenge for fun. Where are you going to go? Just like, tell us where you're going to go and then we'll send everyone else the other way, which I'm like, why does he get first pick?
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, okay, I'll go up the coast. And the guy was like, awesome. And just as the young girl had told him, the hunting was good.
Oh.
He brought back so many seals, more seals than anyone else, more seals than anyone needs. And he was declared the winner of the first challenge.
I mean, it feels kind of like that game's rigged a little bit, doesn't it? If he's going north, everyone else is going south. He's going to be able to get more seals, right?
I wonder if you don't have to get seals. I wonder if it's like you can go literally anywhere. Like, so some people might be like, I'm going to go get some polar bears or something, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
They might go get some polar bears. I don't know.
Who knows?
I read another story in this that I'm going to tell one day where they do get a polar bear. That night, he went back to his hut and he laid down, but he didn't go to sleep because he was like, I bet she's going to come back. I'm going to stay awake for a bit. And he was right. She came back to his door and she whispered that tomorrow he would have to race around the island in the bay and then come back to the shore. And the man he was racing against was very, very fast, and he had like a beautiful brand new boat, and he had never been beaten in a race before.
Is this a boat race?
Yes.
Okay, just clarifying.
So she told him to let the man get far ahead of him and then sing a special song to give his Bedaarka special powers. And then she sang the special Go Fast song. And she left.
row.
Quickly down the stream.
Merrily, 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 I need to get some peen. That's her.
Oh, that's her. Can't wait to get some peen.
They have the same sense of humor.
These are very sexual songs. Oh my god.
She's matching his freak.
She is matching his freak. Good for her. I need to get some peen. The next morning, the village elder woke him up again, stuck his head in, and he was like, hey, you're racing today. Are you ready? And he was like, sure. So he goes down to the shore, and he watched his rival's boat pull up next to his Beluga-Skin Bedaarka.
Title of story.
It is. The rival was taller, hotter, faster, stronger, and his Bedaarka was beautifully painted and brand new, and it was like the state-of-the-art race boat, and he was very cocky about it, and he kept like looking over at the boy's stupid old, you know, non-painted Bedaarka, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking murder you in the water.
This feels like, to me, when you bring new shoes on vacation.
They blister you?
Yeah, and you're like, why did I do this? I feel like a new Bedaarka is not necessarily a good thing, because he's not necessarily like used to it.
Maybe. Could be.
That would be my thought. I wouldn't put my Bedaarka in for the first time in a competition.
Yeah,
I would
he
want
has
to spend some
so
time
many
first. Break
blisters.
it in. Yeah, gotta break in the Bedaarka.
Breaking in the Bedaarka.
Breaking bad Darka.
The village elder told the two men that, quote, the one who wins this race must shoot the loser.
With a gun.
Which upped the stakes by 1,000,000 for no reason. And like the boy's thinking, holy shit, what? Why?
To death?
To death even. And as he's like thinking, that's an insane stake to put on this race, the rival turned to our hero and said, quote, before long, you'll be lying dead on the beach.
Oh, okay, so he was the one.
He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. He's out for blood.
I just feel like if that's the stakes, they should have told him before.
Nope.
They're like, okay, 3, 2, by the way, it's to the death, 1, go.
When the race began, the tall man in his beautiful boat pulled far ahead almost immediately, and the young man in his Beluga-Skin Bedaarka was like, okay, this is fine. I was warned that this might happen, that I might be slower. And as soon as he was out of the eyesight of everyone, he sang the song the beautiful girl had taught him. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. And then his boat turned into a real beluga whale. And it dove underwater, carrying the young man with him. And I wrote, cold, wet, scary.
Yeah, terrifying. Also,
there are seals in that water.
Oh. Also, I feel like that beluga doesn't want to help you.
You killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a whole, like, you know...
respect for the kill and everything like
exactly.
That. For sure, but I just feel like, even if I wasn't actively trying to kill him, I still wouldn't, like, love that he had killed me. I wouldn't be like, let me help you win a competition.
Okay, hold on.
Ooh.
Here's the little picture
That's a really good little picture. This illustration is of a young man in traditional clothes. He looks very warm. Janey, you're into that, I
He's
assume.
about to not be very warm, though, because he's about to get dunked in ice water.
And he's in like I guess kind of like a little kayak, basically.
Yeah.
Because it just has the little hole where the person goes with a double-ended oar. And it's like going prow first into the water. And it's like sticking up at an angle. And then under the water, the prow of the kayak has turned into the head of a beluga whale, and he looks so happy to be here.
He does look so happy to be here. Everybody's smiling. It's nice.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
Yeah, they look very quaint. They look like they are rowing merrily. Merrily down the stream. He went so fast that he overtook his rival in no time. Just before reaching the shore, the beluga swam back to the surface and turned back into a boat, so the young man was able to paddle in, winning the race. When his rival paddled in, his cocky expression turned into shock, seeing the young man waiting for him with a bow and arrow outstretched, pointed straight at him. At which point I feel the need to tell everyone, my dad was shot with a bow and arrow in the face. We are such a blend of native and white trash in, like, the most special way. But his brother was holding a bow and arrow, and my dad was, like, down the street, like, just, I don't know, kicking his feet or doing whatever kids did back in the old days. And my dad looked up, and his brother had pointed the bow and arrow right at my dad and was just, like, sitting there holding it. And my dad was like, fucking do it. You won't. And he's like, I'll do it. And he's like, then do it. And his brother did it. And it hit him right in between his nose and the corner of his eye. And, like, literally stuck in between. Like, it was over, like, even half a centimeter would have hit him in the eye.
Oh, my God.
And he has a scar to this day. It's like a orange, like, it looks like a liver spot, kind of. But it's just this little scar where his brother shot him with an arrow.
In the face.
Right in the fucking face.
If I was that brother, I would never shut up about that, though. Like, that's an incredible shot.
He was trying to shoot him in the eye. He was trying to kill
that's
him.
really good. Like, that's a really good shot.
It's a really fucking good shot.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Anyway, so the young man told him, quote, if you won, you would have killed me. And then he let his arrow fly straight into the tall man's leg. And then he left him on the beach holding his leg and screaming. And he went back to the village to enjoy his victory feast.
Hilarious.
Yeah, pretty good. I liked that. The young woman who he wanted to marry brought him some food, and then she leaned down and whispered, she was like, hey, that guy's relatives are going to come and ask you for help. You'd be wise to help them, okay? Just, like, do what they want you to do.
Sure.
Okay, you shot their son. So.
Well, all right, but that was the rules, so...
Yeah, he had to. That's literally what he had to do. He couldn't get away with not shooting him. Soon enough, the relatives came to him and told him they couldn't pull the arrow out of their son's legs. They're like, we've been trying and it's not working. So they're like, can you come back and help us? And so he went back down to the beach and he sang a little song about pulling arrows out, after which he was able to pull the arrow out.
Sure.
Yeah. Then he rubbed the place where the arrow had been stuck and the wound healed.
That's very nice of him.
Yeah.
They didn't ask him to do that.
No, he just seems nice. That night, as before, the girl came back to his hut and whispered to him from the doorway. She told him that the last challenge was to defeat the best wrestler in the village. And then she said, quote, I cannot help you with this. If you lose, he will throw you into the pit.
The pit?
The pit!
There's a pit?
Oh my god, yeah, suddenly, pit alert! There's a pit in the story. Content warning, pit.
Pit count 1.
And you know what? That's one more pit than the last, like, 50 stories we've told, so. Oh man, for all you pit heads, this one's for you. The young man told her not to worry. He's like, I'm stronger than I look. And my brain is rotten. I was like, a real Peter Millark.
Oh, God. He's just been rolling rocks around.
Yeah, it all comes back to Peter Millark. The next day, the village elder led him to the meeting house.
The Millark Bedaark.
The Millarky Bedarky.
Continue.
Pina.
No. No.
The next day, the village elder led him to the meeting house, where he saw a fenced-in area where the wrestling would take place. And in the middle of the ring was a deep pit with sharp stones at the bottom. And standing next to the death pit was the biggest man the boy had ever seen in his goddamn life. And the man leaned in and said, I have never been beaten. I will throw you in this pit and all your bones will be broken.
Jesus, buddy.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Point of order here, though.
Yeah.
First round, all of the men who are vying for her hand go out and hunt, right? And
That's
he
a
wins.
skill.
Yeah, that's a skill. Second one, he has to go up against one guy. And conceivably, that one guy could have been one of the ones who went hunting the day before. Yeah. But this is another guy.
Yeah, he's never seen before.
That he's never seen before. So has this guy done a second test? Is this his second test? What exactly is the bracket here?
Maybe what would happen is they do 3 challenges. And if you win all 3, then you get her hand in marriage. If you lose, and that person who just went against you then starts his 3 challenges. So this might be their first challenge.
What?
So
like the next person. Okay.
So like the guy,
I just feel like,
so like the race was the race guy's like first challenge, but if he won that one, then he would have 2 more to get.
Maybe. It just feels like a really good way to, especially now that they're to the death, it feels like a really good way to deplete your population really quickly.
Except that this guy isn't from the village. They don't care about his population.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I just feel like the competition structure here is not well thought out. And that's all I'll say about that.
Max will be writing a letter. So look out for that. I can't remember their name. Look out for that.
Look out for that. You
guys.
Once I figure out where to send it, ooh, you're going to get a letter.
Somewhere in Alaska, an angry letter is coming. Okay. The match began, and immediately the wrestler grabbed the boy and tried to throw him into the pit.
Mm-hmm.
To everyone's surprise, though, especially the giant wrestler, the boy could not be moved. He, like, stuck in his feet, and then he would not be moved.
He sat down on the ground, and he was like, no! And the guy's, like, trying to drag him, and he's like, no, I'm not going!
He was like, no bones! Just went limp. Really threw him off.
Now, I've never done professional wrestling before, but I feel like
no
that
bones.
would be a perfect tactic.
No bones. That's all I would do. I think my wrestler name might be No Bones. Then, as the wrestler was still confused and, like, scratching his head, like, well, how do I move him? The boy grabbed him and lifted him above his head.
What?
And the crowd went wild!
This guy is not bigger than rocks.
Well, the wrestler was not even half as heavy as the Stones.
Oh.
Yeah. And he'd been lifting every day. He does even lift, bro.
Wow.
This is the story. This is the reason why I picked this story. I really like this picture.
Hot dog. A full-page illustration, right? I don't even know where to begin with this.
A lot's going on.
There's a lot going on. There's a beautiful girl in the background, and she is cheering. She has her arms in the air and a big old smile on her face. Down in the bottom left, there's a spike pit.
Classic spike pit.
Over to the right-hand side, there's a person wearing an elaborate headdress and a, like, robe of some kind.
Genuinely don't know who that person's supposed to be. He looks, also that headdress doesn't look like any headdress I've ever seen. And to be fair, all the headdresses I've seen are, like, Plains Indians headdresses, right? So, like, I'm not saying I'm an expert on all tribes, but that looks like maybe it's not a real headdress.
It kind of looks like in the portraits of Catholic saints.
Yeah, it's like a halo.
Yeah.
And it only has a couple of, like, evenly spaced out feathers. Like,
kind of looks like some kind of receiving antenna a little bit.
It a little bit does.
Huh.
Anyway.
And this is, as far as I know, not a named character. And he does not look like he's having any kind of time. He has zero expression on his face.
He could be the village elder.
Maybe.
He's the only person we've seen.
But he's not having fun.
No, he's just watching.
No reaction whatsoever. And then, of course, the main event is our protagonist here in the middle, and he's wearing some really cool varsity striped skins. Mm-hmm. He looks rad as hell.
He does.
It's so cool. And he has his arms above his head, and he's holding a big old guy who kind of looks like an ogre.
A monster. His mouth looks like the pit.
His mouth looks exactly like the pit. He is screaming and yelling. He is so big and so round.
And he's just being lifted directly above this boy's head.
Yeah, and this boy has an expression of just placid delight.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Yeah. No, it's so good. And
this is an
so
incredible illustration.
Yeah, it's very funny. I wish somebody would get a tattoo of just the boy lifting this giant mustachio. Look at this mustache.
Yeah. That's a hell of a mustache. Oh, and he's got little, like, leather wrist cuffs, too, with studs in them.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
He honestly looks like he's in a metal band.
He does. Now, this is what I think of when I think of wrestler.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, so he raised the man up over his head and he carried him to the edge of the pit.
The pit.
But he didn't throw him down on the sharp stones. Instead, as he was lifting him above his head, he said, "Have I won this wrestling match?" And then he like shook him a little. And the man was like, "Yeah, you won. You fucking won. You did it.
You got me.
You win." And the whole crowd agreed. They're like, yeah, you win. And so the young man put the wrestler down gently next to the death pit. And he's like, okay.
It'd be really funny if he was like, "Did I win?" And they were like, yes, God, please put him down. And he's like, "Good." And then he throws him in the pit.
And then he leaves and they're like, "Where's he going?" And he grabs the guy he shot earlier and drags him back and throws him in the death pit.
All glory to the death pit.
Yeah. He's like, "I answer to the pit, actually." The last line of the story is, quote, "The next day, the young man with the beluga-skin Bedaarka and the young woman who had helped him were married. They lived together in happiness, and their story has been passed down by many children of their many children to this day." End quote.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like about that she helps him, but also he doesn't succeed purely because she helps him.
She helps him in the first two, and then he does it himself the last one.
Mm-hmm.
But also only one of those was like magical intervention. You know, the other one was just like, this is where you can find good hunting, but you have to be a good hunter in order to do it.
Yeah. Even the second one was like kind of rigged from the start sort of thing. And it was just, I don't know. I really liked that.
Mm-hmm. I also really liked that he didn't kill anyone.
Yeah.
There was a lot of empathy in this story. I noticed this. I was thinking about all of the northern native tribes stories that we've told here. Like the skeleton woman that you told.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we've told other ones that I can't think off the top of my head. But they always seem to be a little bit more empathetic for some reason. Like, I always feel like out of all of the regions, I tend to, like, identify more with the northern ones because they kind of make you cry a little bit. You know, like, there's, like, a human empathy to those stories that I'm like, wow. Like, you don't see that. You know, there's a lot of, like, animal stories and stuff from, like, the Sioux, which is my dad's tribe, and I love them, but they're mostly just like, this tricky son of a bitch is trying to trick me. Why? Because he's a son of a bitch. You're like, so true.
A lot of them are also like origin story. A lot of the ones that we see anyways are either origin stories or they are stories with like a moral, a lesson or something like that. And those don't lend themselves as much to like an empathetic reading because a lot of times it's like this is the good person, this is the bad person. Yeah. You know, kind of thing. But
and then this is like, I feel like we've read a couple of northern indigenous tales that are like, this is just a person who has been alone. That happens a lot. It's like there's an isolation factor, which is just from the region. Yeah. Right. But it's also like they grew up in really harsh conditions. They are from a group of people that knows how to survive in these harsh conditions, but they also are making empathetic choices along the way. Like they're actively choosing to be kind to other humans or animals or something like that. And it's like, well, this, as a human, you connect with seeing somebody living in a harsh condition and choosing to be kind anyway. Yeah. And I think that you see that with this one. You know, you see this boy who grew up alone and he could have killed, the other people would have killed him very easily. And he doesn't do that. No. And I think it sets him up to be a good husband, you know? Like you just know that he's going to be able to take care of her, but also he's going to be kind. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I don't know if that's a regional thing, but that's just what I've noticed because we've told a couple of native stories. Yeah. And I always tend to like the ones up north a lot.
I also love, I do love a story where it's like, oh, there's a competition to win someone's hand and she rigs it to make it so the winner is the person
she has the choice.
Yeah. But a lot of times, I mean, my first initial comment is like, a lot of times though, it's like she helps him to win because he would not have been able to win otherwise because he's useless.
Yeah. And it begs the question, like, why would this girl do this?
Yeah. Why would she want
And the answer is usually because this was written by a man.
Yeah. But this one was really good. Yeah. I liked it. A very well-balanced story.
Yeah. Just a quick note. This book is grouped by region. This one was from the far north, as I mentioned, but there, you know, there's also like the southeast and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. The Bruchaks wrote that even though this region of North America is a harsher climate than anywhere else, the people of the far north have always found ways to survive and live in relative comfort. The Alutiiq are close relatives of the Inuits. geographically, they are close.
Yeah.
They have historically lived on a long string of islands that are now called the Aleutians that stretch from the Alaskan mainland islands to within a few miles of Siberia. This story was first written and published in 1909 in the Journal of American Folklore in an article by Frank Alfred Golder entitled Eskimo and Alouette Stories from Alaska. And the book was illustrated by Stefano Vitali, who we've talked about before, but I'm just going to remind everybody about Stefano Vitali because I love him. He was born in Padua, Italy. His folk art is gorgeous and it's award-winning, and we've seen it in this book. It's expressive and colorful and awesome. This one looks like it was painted right on wood panels.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Which I love. And I think he does everything traditionally, so I do think that he actually just painted them on wood panels. And I read his biography on his website, and I just want to point out a few of my favorite lines from the biography. Quote, because of excessive intellectual activity, he reached the conclusion that the only field where he could express his unexpressible ideas were in the arts, so he applied to the Art Center College of Design in Pasadena, California, not knowing what he was getting into. He was accepted and quickly became known for always painting the same thing for every assignment, a Madonna with one eye.
Love that.
So he just only they were like, and then this assignment, you have to show this. And he's like, got it. So like, Madonna, and they're like, no, Stefano. And he's like, okay, but get this. And they're like, we know what you're going to say. And he's like, she has one eye? Yeah, she has one eye. Here you go. I already did it. I kind of love that. Yeah, he lived in New York with his wife, and he had 2 daughters. He lived there for 15 years. And then, this is the last thing I'm going to say from his biography, quote, 15 years in New York City and hundreds of subway rides later, he decided to return to his native Italy with his wife and their 2 children. Well, I guess just children. I don't know where I got 2 daughters. They're 2 daughters now. He currently lives in Venice and now commutes in a colorful wooden boat.
Aw.
Yeah, I love him. Go look at all of his stuff. He's amazing. I linked his website, and every time I look at his stuff, I just am reminded of how much fucking joy I get from this illustrator.
I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, I love him. The end.
Pretty good, buddy.
Thank you. Do you want to take a little break?
Yeah, let's take a little break and then get back to it.
We will see you so soon. Bye.
Okay, Janey.
Okay, Max.
The story that I have for you today is from Indian Legends of Canada by Ella Elizabeth Clark.
Ooh. It has a picture of a horse face mask.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. It's blue.
It's
nice.
blue. I like it. My parents brought this back for me from their trip to Canada a couple of weeks ago. They shipped it back from Canada to me.
Nice.
Which is very sweet.
That is sweet.
They were like, what do you want us to bring you from Canada? And I was like, if you see any fun folklore books. And they found a couple. So
I love that.
Yeah, very, very sweet. And this is a really cool collection of stories. A lot of these are from various journals of folklore. But the idea is that a lot of these are like centered in Canada. So they're representative of a bunch of different tribes that are in the territory known as Canada. Mm-hmm. The story that I'm going to tell today is from the Iroquois. I don't have any details on specifically where, but this story originally appeared in the Journal of American Folklore from 1892, July, written by William Martin Beauchamp. It's called Iroquois Notes. And he just has a couple of stories put together in basically like a journal entry that he submitted to the American Journal of Folklore, and it was published. And then Ella Elizabeth Clark sort of altered the story a little bit, put it into this collection of stories from Canada. This story is called The Punishment of the Witches.
Okay.
Which feels unexpected.
Except that now this is the second Iroquois story that has witches in it. So maybe we need to just expect... Yeah, you told the skeleton witch... vampire ghost or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That was also an Iroquois story.
Yeah.
I think we just need to accept the fact that Iroquois have witches, okay?
They do.
It's on us for never believing it.
Yeah, every single time it comes up, it surprises me. And I know that the reason why is because the term witch comes from the, like, usually, like, English people who were recording the stories, and they were like, oh, you have this thing, this is the term that you use for it.
Yeah.
They do the same things as a witch, so they're a witch. So, like, it's not the term that the people would use for the people that they're describing, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah. We just have a preconceived notion about what a witch looks like.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'll talk more about that at the end, but this one was kind of a surprising story for me, and I'm really excited to share it with you.
I am pumped.
There's a man, and his brother has fallen ill, very unexpectedly. He has become very, very sick, and the man suspects that this is not due to any kind of normal sickness, but because he has been cursed by a witch.
Okay.
He does what any good brother would do, and he decides to find the witch and end the curse.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that he decides to do this is that he goes up to the oldest woman in town and he says, "Hello, I would like to become a witch."
What? Huh? Oh, it's like a sting operation?
Yeah.
This is like when cops are like undercover as sex workers and they're like, "Hello, party people. Anyone want to fucking put me in their car and pay me money?" I don't know if you are a sex worker.
So he goes up to the oldest woman in town and says, "Hello, I would like to be a witch."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, good news. You can be a witch if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
And here's how. You're going to go find your sister and you're going to point at her."
Oh no, that son of a bitch.
And then after you point at her, she's going to get very sick and then she's going to die.
Why would you do that then?
To become a witch, Janey.
What benefits are you getting from killing your sister?
It's how you become a witch, Janey.
Also, you know that when you point at someone, there are 3 fingers pointing back at you. So
Yeah.
good luck.
And a fifth one that's pointing in a different direction also.
Like angled down, kind of to
Depending
the
on-
front.
Yeah, like definitely somewhere.
If someone's standing next to her, you will curse their feet.
So she says, "Go to your sister, point at her. She will get sick and she will die.
Mm-hmm.
Also, tonight, in order to become a witch, you have to come meet me in the woods."
Oh. Hello,
Uh,
party people.
Hello,
You wanna
party
meet
people.
me in the woods? Give me money.
So the man is like, "Great, I will see you tonight in the woods."
Mhm.
And she's like, "Great, see you then." He goes back to his house and he goes to his sister and he's like, "Hey."
Oh, you know what I just remembered?
What?
This story is what inspired the song Meet Me in the Woods Tonight by Lord Huron.
I don't know what that is. I'm really sorry. I wish I got that joke.
I had some and then all of you. I had most and then all of you, some and now none of you. Take me back to... Oh, that's The Night We Met. Meet Me in the Woods Tonight is a different one. It's the same band, though.
Okay.
Fucking shit.
Fuck and shit, man.
All right, so the joke
Sorry.
didn't land. Go ahead.
You should link that in the show notes for this. Just so anyone knows what you're talking about. I'm really sorry that I don't get it.
You guys don't know Meet
I
Me
wish
in
I
the
did.
Woods Tonight? How dare you? There are people sitting there like, no, I know what... Janey, I know. You know you don't. Because you're not
You can
answering
email
right
us.
now.
He goes to his sister and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to go become a witch. I'm going to go into the woods tonight with that old lady. You know her. She told me to come point at you and that you would get very sick and die.
Mhm.
And then I would be a witch. So we're not doing that."
Good.
And he and his sister hatch a plot together.
Okay, a little scheme.
A scheme.
Yeah.
A little rigmarole. Night falls and he goes out to the designated meeting point in the woods. And, you know, she's giving him kind of vague directions for how to get to this spot where he's supposed to meet her. And he's sort of crashing through the undergrowth. It's dark and it is, you know, he feels like he's being weirdly loud because it's just like the woods and he keeps stepping on sticks and leaves and stuff.
Mhm.
Leave me alone. And eventually he comes to like a small clearing and he sees the old woman facing away from him. And he like psst out to her. And then he sees her leap up to the branch of the tree high above.
No.
And then she turns around, and as she turns, he sees her body transform from that of an old woman into a massive panther.
Okay. No, turn around.
Undo.
Your brother's gonna die.
So sorry. So sorry. And this huge panther with like glowing moonlit eyes
Mhm.
looks down at him from the branch. And he is obviously terrified, but he conceals it. He pretends to not be affected by this whatsoever. He strolls into this little clearing and he's like, "Oh, hello." And she says, "Did I scare you?"
Oh.
And he says, "Not at all. I'm not afraid of anything." And she goes, "Well, all right."
Disappointing.
And then she tells him to follow her.
Mm-hmm.
And as a panther, she runs through the woods from one tree to the next, and he follows below. Finally, they hear the sounds of voices up ahead, and they come to a larger clearing. And there are a bunch of people in this clearing. Men and women of all ages, young women, like old women, everyone, a bunch of people also that he recognizes from his tribe. And he's like, "Oh shit, I didn't realize that you were a witch." Ooh.
So it really could have been anybody.
It really could have been anybody. It
Why
turns
weren't
out-
we invited to be witches?
There's like a lot of witches here.
Mhm.
okay. Kind of feeling like I was left out, actually.
It's too easy to get in this club.
Honestly, it kind of is. But he sees all of these people there, and they are all around this huge campfire, and he follows the old woman in her panther form. And he kind of sees her out of the corner of his eye, and it's like she is a panther, but she's also an old woman, and it's very weird. It's like as soon as he enters into this space, there's something kind of strange, like the forms of things are not the forms that they are, sort of.
Okay.
But he sees all of these people sitting around a massive bonfire. And on top of the bonfire, there's a tiny kettle. And on top of the kettle, there is strung up a bundle of snakes. And there is blood dripping from the snake bundle into the tiny kettle. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while, the witches in their circle will take the kettle off the fire and they will pass it around, and all of them will drink the snake's blood from this tiny kettle.
Warm snake blood.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Snake juice.
Snake juice. Okay.
Basically rat poison. They join the circle of people. And again, like the light is flickering and everything. He sees people and he sees their faces and he recognizes them. But as soon as he looks away, it's like they're not them and they're something else, but he can't tell what they are, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. The next time that the kettle is passed around, they pass the blood kettle to him and he pretends to take a sip.
Mm-hmm. Nom nom nom.
Tasty snake juice.
Oh, snake juice. Nom nom nom.
And as the kettle continues to go around, this like sort of ephemeral shapes of the people around him gets more severe, and like he can see like things changing, and it's like he's looking at a couple of different pictures like laid over one another, and he sees the people, even when they look like people, they look different, and sometimes they look like animals, and sometimes they look like part animal, part human, and sometimes they look like part human, part animal, and just like very eerie. And he can't really grasp any of it. Like if he looks at someone, there's still something wrong, but it's like they're not changing. But like he's just trying to get a grasp of his surroundings, and he can't really understand anything that's going on around him.
Yeah.
The people all, as they are like changing and shifting and sort of fading in and out, they start to speak more loudly and make other strange sounds, and the party gets like rowdier basically. And they go to him and they ask him, what would you like to be? And he says, a screech owl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, what would you answer?
Raccoon.
Oh yeah.
Or a possum.
I like possums, but they aren't very fast and they're not particularly strong, and
but they can't get rabies.
I mean, that's true, but like they can get killed very easily. Also, they have to carry all of their babies.
But their babies are so small.
Until they're big.
Yeah, but then you don't have to carry them anymore.
Because they fall off because they're too big. Like, I don't know.
What would you be?
I don't know. Maybe some sort of bird. Maybe like an owl. I mean, I feel like there's safety in being able to fly away, stay in the trees.
Yeah.
I would love to screech. Yeah, I think screech owl, the more I think about it, that's nice. Doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, I think a raccoon or maybe like a squirrel would be good for me. I would like that.
Those all are like prey animals. It freaks me out. If I was an owl, I would fucking eat you.
An owl is going to eat a live raccoon.
No, a live squirrel.
I don't know, like, but and squirrels are small.
I
and
might
they can like
try to eat an owl just to see if I can.
As an owl, you would try to eat an owl?
I would try to eat everything. A raccoon.
You just want to be an owl and eat stuff.
I think I just want to eat something. I think I might be hungry.
And then cough up little bone cubes.
Cute.
Yeah, like owls.
Cupert.
But like squirrels are like small. They can get in and out. They're really fast. They can be up in the trees. They can be down on the ground. They can live in a little burrow. They can live inside of a tree. They can live outside of a tree. You can live in your house.
Be like a little mouse.
No, I don't want to be a mouse. It's too small. And also, they're not fast or strong enough.
I feel like squirrels can't just live in your house.
Try telling that to squirrels, Janey.
I don't know. All right, we'll continue with their story. I just feel like squirrels can't just live in your house.
Says who?
Me.
So he says, I would like to be a screech owl.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
They give him the head of an owl.
Oh.
They hand
just
it to
add that
him.
On hand?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
And they tell him to put it on later. And they say, once you have the owl head on, you will be able to fly like a bird. which is fun for you. Good choice. Great work.
How big is this owl head?
I'm picturing it being pretty small.
So he's just gonna like
a little
balance
fez.
it
Yeah.
on top of his head.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah.
So they give him this owl head, and he sees them all kind of dancing, and they're all doing dances that kind of align with the creatures that he sees them like sort of phasing in and out of being. And so in order to blend in, he does what he imagines an owl dance would look like. And he like makes owl sounds, and he like walks around like an owl.
Woohoo!
Yeah. Woo! Who cooks for you? So he does his little owl dance, and everyone's like, holy shit, dude, that's a really good owl dance. And they tell him, you are so good at doing that owl dance. Once you become a witch, you will be a witch chief.
Just from the dance?
Yeah.
Oh my god, what would they do to me? I'm terrible at dancing.
You would be kicked out of the...
They're like, give us back
Witch
the
tribe.
owl head. We made a mistake. Dunk her in the lake.
Give her a turtle shell instead.
We actually don't want her to be able to dance at all. That's how Janey ended up in the pit.
Oh. This is a Parks and Rec episode. So, eventually, later, he puts on the owl head. And as soon as he does, he feels like in the same way that he's not able to quite parse the outlines of the people around him, he feels that happen to himself, where he like can't completely control what he's doing, but he still has like a sense of self, but he also has a sense of like being something else. So he's not fully in control of himself, and he finds that he is able to fly and that things look different around him. He puts on the owl head and he flies to his brother's house, and he lands on the roof. Everyone inside of the house is very scared.
Yeah.
Because there's a big man owl on top of their house. But it's like he flies to their house and he lands on the roof of their house, and all of them are terrified inside. And as he's flying away, he sees that all the other witches in this meeting in the woods are also departing. Some of them are like foxes or wolves or birds or anything like that. But they're all like, the party is breaking up and everyone's going home.
Maybe a wolf. That'd be a good one to be.
Really?
Yeah. It's big enough that I don't really have to worry too much. Like, a bear might try to eat me, but I'm probably going to... I'm probably going to be, like, okay. Also, I'll be warm.
Like a fox or a coyote also.
Too small. I need to be the biggest thing around, or I need to be able to fly away.
I don't mind being a little guy.
Not me.
He's on the roof of his brother's house, and at the same time, he's like, I am on the roof of my brother's house. And also, he's like, I am a bird, and I am on a roof. And he makes a happy owl song and does his little owl dance, and the people inside are like, what the fuck? And eventually, he swoops down off of the roof. He goes into the house. He gets a little bit more bearing on himself, and he takes a finger or feather or something somewhere in between, and he points at the dog in the house.
Yeah.
And the dog gets sick and dies.
Wow. Fucking rude.
Yeah. And then he goes to his sister and he's like, okay, time to execute the plan. So she pretends to be very, very sick, and she is laid up in bed, and she's like, I don't know what happened. Very suddenly, this sickness fell upon me. Meanwhile, the rest of the family is out back burying the family dog.
Yeah. Awful.
But she's very, very sick, and all of the people in the tribe come to their house, and they all, like, you know, speak over her, and they're like, we hope that you get better. Like, we're so sorry.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers,
With
honestly, so
blessings.
young. And the guy... he sees that, like, a bunch of these people are the witches.
Yeah.
And he is shocked because they are so, like, easily... like, they told him to kill her. They know that that's why she is sick, ostensibly.
Yeah.
And they have no trouble lying through their teeth and being like, oh, this is so unfair. I hope you get better.
Two-faced bitches.
Yeah. Yeah. So everyone comes to see her, and she lays in bed and pretends to continue to get sicker. The next morning... the man gathers all of the warriors together, except for the ones that he saw at the witch meeting, I assume. And he tells them what he has seen. He's like, I saw this group of witches out in the woods. They told me to kill people.
Yeah.
They all, like, they're, like, amongst us. They came to see my sister and, like, wished her well, even though they're the ones who were, like, making her sick, basically. And all of the warriors agree to come with him. They gather their weapons, and they go into the woods that night. As they're approaching this clearing and he's leading them to the right place, they hear that this is clearly a different kind of meeting. There are like officers of the group that are like speaking and delivering like news or sermons or something like that. Like it's a much more organized meeting than the one last night.
Yeah.
But as they're approaching, they hear the voice of one of the speakers, and the speaker is explaining to everyone. I'm just going to read this straight.
Okay.
If you kill someone, you will go to heaven, and the good spirit will reward you well.
What?
You really will save your victims from much evil if you kill them, for if they lived, they might become bad. If they die now, they will go to the good spirit.
This is some cult shit.
Yeah. So basically he's saying like, it's actually not bad that we're murdering people. We're actually being good people for doing this because like
we're saving their souls.
We're saving their souls.
This is some cult shit.
Absolutely.
Jesus.
And they're like, and the longer they're here on Earth, the more likely that they'll be corrupted. And then, so basically we're just ensuring that they go to the good spirit, and that makes us good people. And the warriors listen for a little bit longer, and then the man gives them the order to move in. The warriors all converge on this group of people and slaughter all of them.
Yeah.
They return home, and the next morning, the man's brother starts to get better.
Yeah, because the witch who cursed him is dead.
The end.
That felt like The Crucible. That felt like an English witch story.
It does. It feels very specifically like a Christianity-based witchcraft story.
Yes. The fact that he went and was like, I saw these people dancing with the devil. Like,
it's
essentially what he said. And then they slaughtered all of those people. The only difference is that when they all came on, they actually saw proof that they were meeting and talking about some batshit crazy stuff. But yeah, that felt very English.
It did, yeah, which is really interesting to me because this establishes that like there's a little forward before the story, and it's like, yes, the Iroquois have witches basically, and they are people who are in service of the evil spirit, yeah, and they cause disease and misfortune and death. They can transform themselves into animals and objects, so it's really hard to catch them.
Yeah, that feels like an influence. Like a more recent influence.
It does feel like that. The little bit at the end of them being like, actually, we're good people for doing this, really threw me for a loop because I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, so the initiating thing of this story is that the brother got sick, which means that someone who cared about him a lot was a witch and was trying to, quote unquote, save him.
Oh, so you think it was somebody in their family?
Could be. But also, I was thinking about it and I was like, okay, so the brother was sick. Sometimes people get sick because of the witches. But also, now the warriors have come in and killed a bunch of, they slaughtered a bunch of people from their own tribe in an ambush in the woods. And, this guy he fully did witchcraft in order to try and save his brother. So, not to say that they have a point, but,
why did he kill the dog? Why did he have to kill anyone?
I don't know.
Because here's what got me. I thought as soon as he was like, she was like, kill your sister and then come meet me in the woods. I was like, oh shit, if he goes in and he skips that step, then there's going to be consequences or they're all going to know because clearly killing your sister that has to be part of something. Yeah. And it wasn't. But then he went back and for some reason killed the dog. It's not like anybody was watching. They didn't establish that there was witches with him watching him do stuff.
Yeah. So it's weird.
Why kill the dog?
And he's definitely worse now as a person.
Yeah, he killed a dog. Yeah. But now he also has this power. He has...
I don't know if he does, but...
He killed a dog. He turned into an owl.
Well, I don't know if he still has it or if it's something that was I have no idea. There's nothing in this about how the mechanics of magic work.
There's a lot left hanging.
Yeah. But, I mean, just to their point, though, he did survive to become worse, Yeah. Which I just... Again, not to say that they're right or anything, but, it's just an interesting, weird way of thinking about things. It is obviously fucked up to be we should kill people so that they don't become bad. That's bad.
That's the reason why a lot of people have said that they've killed their children.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Huge thing in the child murderer community.
Listen, in the child murderer community, making sure that they don't grow up to be bad by murdering them is one of the oldest excuses in the book.
Anyways, I just thought that was a weird story. And then also, that twist of morality of being oh, they think that they're the good guys.
Why put that in?
Also feels weird.
It feels very strange for them to have put that in.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that feels out of place because even in the old English stories, there's not a lot of, like, explanation. It's like, here's the accusation. So we saw them dancing in the woods. We got them.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
But they actually got to hear their ethos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild. Oh, that
Just
felt like an
weird.
addition.
Yeah.
Like an edit.
Or, I mean...
It could be an edit. Like you said, this was taken and edited by this person. Who was the woman?
Ella Elizabeth Clark. I did track down the original text, though, and it's almost exactly the same.
Oh.
Like, this is included in it. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a really weird, like, moral note to add in of... I almost feel like that's kind of the lesson of the story. Is It's like, yes, they're doing witchcraft, and yes, it's clear that what they're doing is bad to you. But to them, they're not doing something that they think is bad. They think that they are the good guys. You know?
Yeah.
Just interesting.
That is interesting.
It's kind of, I feel like this is almost kind of the answer to the question of like, okay, why would someone become a witch? And it's like, because they think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah, which is, and that's just philosophically the answer to most things, you know?
Yeah. Which I don't know. I think that that's a really cool and nuanced sort of message for the story to have.
Yeah, it is.
Anyways.
Really good.
Thanks.
Well told.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, that was a shorty cutie little baby episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you reach out to us on social media to let us know what you thought. You can also contact us via our Discord by joining the Patreon at the $3 level. You can also email us at sortofthestory@gmail.com. Go to our website, www.sortofthestory.com, and yeah, there's a lot of ways to get in touch with us. I'm going to put pictures from my book for you all to see, as well as more images from Stefano Vitali, just because I absolutely love him. And I'll also put a little picture of Max's book so you can see the horse mask. And I hope you have a good rest of your week, and we will see you in 2 weeks with another set of stories.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Today in TikTok news, as you know, crazy people are on TikTok.
Yeah, I am
starting crazy talks all the time. And today, somebody who commented on my mural painting, which I had a mural, it said ART on it, art, and I was very proud of it. But I put a capital A, a capital R, and then I put a capital T in the original design, and I was very tired, and I was like, capital T's are so ugly. I want to make it a cute lowercase t. And then I didn't think of it again till it was painted and finished. And then the internet was like, wow, pushing religion on our public school students. I hope you die in a fire. And I was like,
Jesus.
no, it's not. Aw, man. In the pursuit of cuteness, I have once again left myself open to extreme attacks. So after just like, vitriol, people were so mad. And then the fights were like, how dare you? Children should be able to know that God is watching always. And I was like, no, that's not. That would be a really weird thing for me, an atheist, to put on there.
Everybody's wrong, actually.
Actually, in fact, oh no, I just thought it was cute. So I fixed it, right, in another video. But of course, nobody's watching the other videos or looking at my pinned comments or anything, so they're just still yelling at me. Anyway, somebody else the other day commented, wow, the lowercase t and the capital A and R, it's really triggering my OCD, right? So they just put that as a comment. And of course, then so many people came in and they were like, you can't say that. You don't have OCD. To which the person said, I do, though. And they're like, that's not OCD. And if you had it, you would know there's no such thing as being triggered by things like that if you have OCD. And then there was just all of these fights, and they're all just telling that person that they're just terrible and awful, and they don't know what they're talking about, and they're stupid, and they're ugly. And I'm just like, Jesus.
Hey, guys.
So then today I made a video that was like, hi, somebody who does have diagnosed OCD, I would like to weigh in. Don't do that. That's a bad look for you. You don't get to comment on somebody's medical diagnosis. That's a stranger on the internet.
No.
I don't care what the fuck they're saying. You don't get to say you don't have that. That makes everybody look really bad.
Yeah.
At the very least, they're going to say, here's proof I have OCD, and then you look insensitive and awful.
Yeah, and at best, you're right, and they don't have OCD, and they're not going to stop claiming to have OCD. Like,
you backed a stranger into a corner, and now they're...
Yeah.
They can lie to you no matter what. I was like, also, you're not their doctor. You know how I know? Because the doctor's not allowed to go on the internet and say you don't have this.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they're your doctor. Anyway. annoying. Just another little corner of the internet's fucking annoying.
God, I hate that.
Can you imagine making an assumption about somebody off of one little comment and then making that your whole personality publicly on the internet?
I'm trying to learn the lesson as I get older of, like, I don't actually have to tell people if they're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if there are absolutely no stakes for me or anyone else.
It doesn't hurt them at all. If this person is lying, who cares? That's a stranger on the internet.
Who cares?
In a stranger on the internet's comment section. You don't know me either.
Yeah, just literally who cares?
You don't have to die on that hill because you are never going to see that person in your whole life.
Yeah, and also, like, it's just it's a comment on a TikTok. It's not going to, like, nobody's going to be like, wow, this really opened my eyes or anything. Like, it's a dumb thing. Mm-hmm. The only weight it has is the weight that you are giving it by making it a fucking issue. So just, like, chill out.
And it makes you
actually, it actually doesn't matter.
Bad. Genuinely, yeah. It makes you look so embarrassingly bad. And a lot of people don't realize that until they're a lot older. When you start looking back, I told my 5th graders all the time, I'm like, you want to look back and be like, oh my God, I was so cringy. You don't want to look back and be like, I hope nobody ever sees this. I need to erase my internet history. Holy shit. Like, yeah, this is going to come back and haunt me personally because I can't believe I did that online publicly.
Here's a fun little story. This is going to be a really long test. I went to a writing camp in Scotland after I graduated from high school. And one of the camp counselors who was there, they were all, like, basically grad students, and we were all just out of high school or, like, just finishing up high school. Yeah. One of the counselors there was only there for the first 3 weeks of the 4 weeks of the session because he, like, became really close friends with a couple of the girls on the trip, and they were like, that's not appropriate. I don't know anything else that happened, but it was like...
Okay.
They were like...
Inappropriate relationship, you can't be here anymore.
Yes, exactly. But, like, everyone was Facebook friends with him and all the other counselors and everything like that at that point. And I was on my way back from the trip, and I was in the airport, and I was, like, just in, like, one of those, like, the, like, Hudson News or whatever it is. Yeah. And they had, like, up at the top of the magazines shelf, they had a bunch of porn magazines. Yeah. Which they have in, like, all airports.
They do?
But it's
Why would
crazy.
you want somebody to have porn on an airplane?
So I was, like, in the airport, and I was like, that's a really weird thing that they're just selling porn in the airport. Like, ugh. For what purpose? And I thought it was kind of funny. And so I went on Facebook, and I was like, why do they sell porn at the airport? Like, that's weird. And everyone was like, what? And I, like, posted a picture. I was like, yeah, in the airport, they have this. And everyone was like, that's really weird. Why would they do that?
Yeah, the response.
Yeah. And then this guy came in and he was like, there are bigger problems in the world right now.
The camp counselor?
Yeah.
That the bigger problem being that you had an inappropriate relationship with the girls you were supposed to be counseling?
But also, like... I wasn't saying, hey, everybody stop what you're doing and call this airport and tell them to get rid of their porn. I was just being like, isn't it weird?
Oh, that's somebody who definitely bought a bunch of porn magazines.
But also, like, a grown-ass man on, like, a high schooler's silly Facebook status being like, it's weird. No. It's like, God, I think about that sometimes. At the time, I was like... oh my God, like, I really fucked up. Like, I don't know, like, I shouldn't have said that, I guess. And
being reprimanded by an adult was so scary. Even if they were wrong, you couldn't see it.
Yeah. And then now I'm like, God, that's so fucking embarrassing for him.
It's also fucking
I hope
weird.
He thinks about that and feels weird about it.
He never thought about it again, you know it. Or if he does think about it, you know that he's the type of person that's like, I really showed her.
You know what?
That might be the highlight of his life, that he got to be mean to a teenage girl on the internet.
Yeah.
After he got fired, he probably blamed the teenage girls for him being fired.
Can you imagine just scrolling through your Facebook and someone's like, really sorry to announce everybody, after a long battle with cancer, Mima has passed. And, we're asking for donations to this charity that meant a lot to her. The service is going to be on Friday at her favorite church. Please come if you can. If you can't, I know that she was beloved by the community and we really appreciate it. And then commenting and being like, there are bigger problems in the world. People die every day. So
get over yourself. Here's the thing. I absolutely can't imagine that. That would not even faze me anymore. The internet has ruined me. Yeah. The more followers I have gotten since, 2021 when I started my TikTok, the more I realize, oh, people are just fucking insane. They're just openly insane now.
Just like, oh, wow, okay, so your Mima died and now you're making it about you. This is all for attention, obviously.